Francine Frensky Superstar is a really brilliant episode of Arthur. This is the second segment in the 10th episode of the first season. And in this one we find out that Francine always gets the worst roles in plays. So all of her friends very sweetly ask Mr. Ratburn, without Francine knowing, to give her a good role in the next school play. And she does. She ends up getting this really wonderful role where she plays Edison. And what I love about this is that there are a lot of facts about Edison. So anybody watching this who doesn't know everything about Edison, I certainly don't know everything about Edison, you're going to be learning at least some tidbit of fact. Now, I'm going to just assume it's all factually correct, but if you do know of anything that was said in this episode that maybe isn't that true, feel free to let me know. But I like the fact that it's very educational, because the characters, mostly Francine, are sharing these information. And Arthur and Buster and Binky and various other characters are dressing up as objects that Edison created. And that all sounds lovely, but the power of being Edison and being what she considers to be the star of the show, which, let's face it, Edison is the main character, kind of goes to Francine's head a little bit. And it's all about how she lets that power go to her head and she keeps calling it her show. And she disappoints everybody else by being full of herself and big-headed and potentially damaging to Buster. Something with Buster's costume I just thought was awful. It visually looked brilliant. And of course the lesson there is it takes a whole team to put on a production. Even if you're the lead character, it is not your show, unless of course you write and direct it and produce it, etc. But in this case, of course, it belonged to the whole class, and Francine had a very big lesson to learn. I like the moral, I like the narrative, I love how educational it was, I loved how sweet everybody was when they were trying to give Francine a good part. Of course, that slightly backfired on them, but, you know, the nice intention was still there. I have to say, Francine Frensky Superstar is a pretty great episode. It's not one that I remembered from when I was younger. Whether or not I hadn't seen it or I just don't remember it, I'm not really sure, but certainly as an adult, I really thoroughly enjoyed it.